actually is in a much more broader category, and that is called bhoga tyaga. When one person withdraws from activities in relation to sense gratification, that is called bhoga tyaga. It is not bhakti. So bhakti is practical activity, and Srila Prabhupada identifies the definition of bhakti from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is verse 1:11. Anya abhilashita shunyam gyan karmadi anavartam anukulena krishnanu bhaktir uttama. So bhakti is free from all kinds of material desires, all kind of philosophical knowledge, or any other sort of ritualistic activities. And the key word in all of this, which Hemanga Prabhu also went through in his class, was anushilanam. And Srila Prabhupada defines the word anushilanam as cultivation. With your permission, I would like to just go a bit step further in this. Srila Jiva Goswami in his book, in his commentary, defines anushilanam. So the word anushilanam, the word anu is the prefix, shil is actually the root word, and anam is actually a suffix. So the root word is shil, and it defines that shil has two components. One is the active form, which is called cheshta rupa bhakti, where one uses their body, words, and mind. And with mind, it means conscious intention, just like we use our mind in chanting. So one is the active form, and the other one is called the emotional form of bhava rupa, where we are contemplating. So bhakti is not imagination or speculation, but it does involve an element of contemplation. And when one performs cheshta rupa bhakti or physical activity in the stage of bhava or prem, that is called karya rupa bhakti. So the reason why I'm sharing this is to sort of establish that across the 9 stages of bhakti, physical activity is involved in all of those steps. It's just the consciousness is elevated as one graduates to the stage of bhava and prem. And then right in the next verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this becomes even more sort of very clear, where the verse is Sarvapadhe Vinir Muktam, um, Sarvapadhe Vinir Muktam,
Tatparatvena nirmalam.
Tatparitvena Nirmalam, Hrishikena Hrishikesha, Sevanam Bhakti. So it's very clearly identified, Sarvapadi, giving up all types of material designations, Tat Paritvena Nirmalam, Hrishikena Hrishikesha. We use all of our senses, all the 24 senses in the service of the Lord. Sevanam Bhakti Richate, and that is called Bhakti. So then Srila Prabhupada goes on and sort of quotes Prahlad Maharaj praise, and he sort of establishes that performing pure devotional service is performing the 9 processes: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam. Iti Pumshat Tata Vishnu, Bhaktischannava Lakshana, Kriyata Bhagavati Adha, Tanmani Dhitam Uttamam. That performing these 9 processes of bhakti is actually the right way of performing pure devotional service when one performs them in the right way. And then Srila Prabhupada establishes the purport, which Hemanga Prabhu also did, is that to understand how to perform them in the right way, we have to take shelter of a spiritual master. And the verse is 4.34. Tadvati pranipatena pariprashneno seve upadeshanti te gyan jnanastata darshana. So the first section of the purport and the first section is to sort of understand the characteristics of bhakti and really sort of internalize this, that that once we have sort of understood that bhakti is our goal, and now the next step is, okay, now we've sort of understood that bhakti is our goal, how can we become better in performing bhakti? And so we take a deeper dive into the verse. And just before we do so, this is something I really liked in Hemanga Prabhu's class. I saw this for the first time. I've seen the ABCD Association books, Chanting and Diet, but this was the first time I saw this. I really liked it, but I'll call it out in revision as well. Attitude, utsaha, nishchayat, dhairyat, behavior, sangatyagat, character, tattat karma, and pravartanat, and direction, satoha vritte. What our attitude needs to be, that is of enthusiasm, confidence, and patience. Our behavior, that to associate with devotees, our character, where we are following some niyamas, such as chanting 16 rounds, and avoiding the yamas, such as gambling and intoxication, and direction, that is being able to follow the footsteps of acharyas. So taking a deeper dive, and the first one called out is utsaha, which Srila Prabhupada says is endeavor executed with intelligence. So, and Hema Prabhu called out in his class as well that finding the correct way uh, means by which everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna. So, one of the aspects over here is how can we maintain our enthusiasm even in difficult circumstances? And so, one of the aspects is that we may be affected in difficult circumstances, but we shouldn't be affected for so long, for too long. And Hemant Prabhu called out the examples of Prahlad Maharaj, who maintained his enthusiasm even in the environment, the unfavorable environment in which he was. And Hemant Prabhu also called out the example of Srila Prabhupada. And here I've sort of noted down three instances where Srila Prabhupada demonstrated how he maintained his enthusiasm even in the most difficult of all circumstances. And the first one is that quite early on, before Srila Prabhupada went to America, when he was living in Bombay, and he was actually going to the embassy to get the visa, he was getting declined quite regularly. And Sumati Morarji's secretary was living in the same building, and she was seeing how Srila Prabhupada was disappointed whenever a decline came. And then she would say that actually he turned around pretty quickly, and then he used to say, anyways, tomorrow is another day. Maybe tomorrow I will be successful. The second example that we see is Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. He quotes and he says, Srila Prabhupada, I just manage the Bhakti Vedanta Institute and I have so many problems. You're managing a society all across the world. How are you managing all of these problems that you're seeing? And Srila Prabhupada would say, what problems? I don't see any problems. All I see is service to my Guru, Maharaj. Um, and the last one I thought will be quite interesting as well, that quite early on in the construction of the Juhu temple, which was called a Hare Krishna land quite earlier on, they were not able to secure the permission to build land quite earlier on in that process. And Srila Prabhupada said to Guru Raj Maharaj, and actually everyone thought he was joking, but he actually was being quite serious. He said, it doesn't matter if you don't get permission to build the land, we will turn this land into a bus stop. We'll buy a lot of buses, we'll fill the buses with books, and we'll go out for book distribution. And in this way, Srila Prabhupada demonstrated that how to maintain enthusiasm even in the difficult of all circumstances, which is the real test. The next quality that helps us in becoming better at performing devotional service is nishya, or endeavoring with confidence. And there are three elements within this. The first one is having confidence that Krishna will protect us. Avashya Rakshive Krishna. Krishna will protect us in all circumstances. The second element is having the confidence that performing service to Sri Radha Sri Krishna is the actual goal of life. And the third one, having confidence that actually, if I were to go through other steps, that will actually make me more restless and will not help me in this process. So, one example that is given is when someone knows the value of gold, they will actually put a lot of effort in mining and finding that gold, no matter how long it takes them, or even if they're unsuccessful in a short amount of time. But because they know that gold is here, they'll continue mining for it. And one of the examples that we see, it's actually very beautiful. Like, Kunti Maharani went through so many struggles. Um, but the way Srila Prabhupada has translated this verse 1.8.36 is actually quite beautiful as well. Um, Shrivanti, Gayanti, Grananti, Aphikshanah, Smaranti, Nandanti, Tavehitam Jana. It's like, so the first line is Shrivanti, Gayanti. Oh Krishna, when someone who chants and remembers your name, but not just that, but the next line, Smaranti Nandanti Tavehitam Jana, but actually also takes pleasure when someone else is chanting your names and glories, then Taeva Pashanti Acharena Tavakam. Then certainly, Acharena, very soon, Bhava Pravaho Padam Bhajam. Then certainly, very soon, they will achieve your association. So this is a very nice sort of verse to go back to when we're feeling that we are not being confident, is reciting this verse, that when someone continuously chants and glorifies Krishna's names and also takes pleasure when someone else is doing that, then certainly very soon they will be able to get the darshan of Krishna's lotus feet and become free from repeated birth and death. The next element which helps us in becoming better in devotional service is dhairya or patience. And this is important because there is actually an innate desire within us for immediate sense gratification. We actually want things straight away, right away. I want this phone, I want this computer, I want this prasad, I want this, and we want straight away, I want this book. But sometimes in Krishna consciousness, we may not actually find immediate gratification. We may not find immediate relief from all material miseries or find immediate relief or immediate pleasure in chanting Krishna's name that we may want. And so it is important to remain patient. Srila Prabhupada writes in his purpose that setbacks is actually a way Krishna tests how sincere we are. I've quoted 1088.8, but just before I get there, I would like to say the 88th chapter of the 10th canto, in the very first shloka, Parikshit Maharaj asks Srila Shukadev Goswami, Srila Vyasadeva, I feel like devotees of Krishna go through greater struggles than those who are not devotees of Krishna. Which I'm sure some of us may feel as well. That becoming devotees of Krishna, we go through greater struggles. Actually, Parikshit Maharaj asked this question of Shukadev Goswami in the very first verse of the 88th chapter. And Shukadev Goswami says, actually, this question that you asked has already been asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj to Krishna. So this question that you've asked, why Krishna's devotees go through greater struggles, has already been asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Krishna smilingly answered. He answered smilingly, with a smile in his face. He answered this verse, 1088.8, Yasyaham Anugranani, actually Yudhishthir, when I especially favor someone, Harishya Tadhamshana, I take away his wealth. Tatu Adhanam, and when he is poor or she is poor, they are poor, when they are poor, Tatu Adhanam, Tajayante Asya, they are abandoned. By who? Swajana, by their family, by their friends, by their relatives. And then dukkha dukkhatam, then they experience distress after distress. So unfortunately, that this course that we have enrolled ourselves in, that, Krishna, we will love you no matter what, Krishna will keep throwing us these setbacks. Actually, let me test whether, this person is sincere, Shubham is sincere or not. So let me throw some struggle. And let me see whether he's still patient. So actually in the purport of this verse is actually quite beautiful as well. I strongly recommend if all of you have time to read. I've read it multiple times and I still feel like there's so much I learn every time I read it. Srila Prabhupada quotes Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that to understand this verse, 1088.8, you need a spiritual mood. And the spiritual mood is this, that only when one goes through the night, the sun becomes attractive. Only when one goes through a hot day does cold water become attractive. Only when one goes through hunger does food become attractive. And only when one goes through immense difficulties and then when Krishna appears to shower his mercy on them, that's when Krishna becomes attractive. So becoming patient is very important as we're going through devotional service, because we will definitely experience setbacks. Srila Prabhupada quotes this example in the purport itself, which Hemanga Prabhu also calls out in his class, that actually originally no one joined. When I started this movement, originally no one joined, but we remained patient. And look at the society now. It is absolutely massive. And Pratap Rudra Maharaj is another example who remained patient. Actually, the first time he asked for Mahaprabhu's association, he said, no, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not meet a king. And he said, actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said he will give mercy to all living entities. Am I the only exception? Will I be the only person who will not get his association? But he remained patient. And when he remained patient, and after a few setbacks he did meet, then Sarv Upadhi Vinir Muktam. He was not a king anymore. He was just a sincere devotee of the Lord. So he was not a king anymore. So what the person Mahaprabhu met was actually not a king. He was actually a sincere devotee of the Lord. So we see these examples how these devotees remain patient even after setbacks. Another element in this is enthusiasm, confidence, and patience are linked. Enthusiasm without patience will lead to a desire to control. If I'm not patient, I'm enthusiastic, I want things to be done right now, my way. And being patient without enthusiastic can lead to lethargy, can lead to laziness. The next element is tat tat karma pravartanat, which is one should be enthusiastic about executing regulative principles. This is actually an answer to one of the assignment questions as well. I think question 16 as well, this copy paste, which is describe the two aspects of tat tat karma pravartanat. So one is not performing the yamas, not to do's, which is the four regulative principles: illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, intoxication. And niyamas, things to do: chanting 16 rounds, Navda Bhakti, associating with devotee. The next one is Sangatyaga. So now Sangatyaga is at two levels. The first level is when we say avoid the association of non-devotees. The first element at a more grounded level is in relation to devotional matters. So, for example, this is something that often comes up in devotee circles or when you're doing new people preaching that, I actually go to work or I play cricket with people, I'm associating with non-devotees. Then the first element is don't associate it in relation to devotional matters. If you're playing cricket with someone, associate with them on cricket matters. But if you were to say, oh, I go to temple, and they say, but God is everywhere, no need to go to temple, and we were to take their advice, then we're actually associating with them in a devotional matter. So we shouldn't associate with them in devotional matters. We should associate with devotees in relation to devotional matters. And as one graduates in their consciousness, then as Srila Prabhupada calls out, as Hemang Prabhu calls out in his class, it's Madhya Leela 22.87, Asat Sangatyag A Vaishnavachar. So Vaishnavachar, Vaishnav behavior is Asat Sangatyag. Asat means temporary, material. So, avoid material association. And what does he categorize as materialistic association? Stri Sangi. Firstly, people who associate too much with women. Ek asadhu. Then an unsightly person. So, firstly, a person who associates too much with women. Secondly, an unsightly person. And thirdly, Krishna abhakta, a person abhakta, a person who's not a bhakt of Krishna. So one should avoid association with these three types of people as one graduates, and as much as possible as well. We should do that. This is another line which, as B.V. Govinda Maharaj was here in every class, he was calling out this, Tan der acharna sevi bhakta shanevas, janma janma hoye, ye abhilash. So this line is from Srila Narottam Thakur's bhajan, Hari Harai Namaha Yadavaya Krishna. So this line is from that bhajan. And what it means is, like in the first couple of verses, he glorifies the six Goswamis. Then this verse translates as Tandera Charan. Tandera Charan means the lotus feet of the six Goswamis. Sevi Bhakti, the devotees who are actually serving the lotus feet of the six Goswamis. Shanivash, I actually want to live with them. Who do I want to live with? I want to live with those devotees who are serving the lotus feet of the six Goswamis. Janam Janam ho yehi abhilash. That is my aspiration, life after life. One of the examples, as we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, for Sangatyagat or avoiding the association in a very pronounced way is that of Pingala. So Pingala was actually looking for association from materialistic people, but when she was unable to find that, very quickly she came to that conclusion. Shantam Samipe Ramanam Rate Pradam Vitta Pradam Nityam Imam Vihaya Akamadam Dukha Bhayarishoka Moha Pradam Tucham Aham Bhajegya. So Aham Bhajegya, I am serving who? Akamadam, those people who are not able to fulfill my desires. Because Moha Pradam, because I'm illusioned. Why? Because of dukkha, bhaya, shokha, because of fear, lamentation, illusion, I'm serving those people. And who am I ignoring? Shantam Samipe, the person most nearest to my heart, Paramatma within my heart, Krishna, who is Ramanam, who is very dear, Rati Pradam, who gives the most pleasure, Vitta Pradam, who gives the most prosperity. And so from Pingala, we get the inspiration how to quickly withdraw from material association and instantly take shelter in the Paramatma within us or in Krishna as well. And the last one is Sato Vritte, following in the footsteps of Acharyas, because they are able to tell us how to fill time with Krishna consciousness activities. The do's and don'ts are over here, like I'll just probably share that the Chowpatty temple, under the guidance of Radhanath Maharaj, has published a Grihastha manual. In the Grihastha manual, they have actually listed out how a Grihastha should act, what they should do, what they should not do, and how they should sort of solve various problems that they experience in life. And in that Grihastha manual, in more detail, they've actually put what a Grihastha should do. As a, like all of us are Grihasthas over here. Rise early in the morning, worship Tulsi Devi, hear Bhagavatam, what not to do. Uh, don't be indifferent in the name of being detached. Don't be too excessively attached with homely comforts. And just the last slide. So, in summary, as Srila Prabhupada calls out in the purport as well, engagement in devotional service, the life and soul for us. One should not deviate from this path. That is the suffix that is used with respect to these 6 aspects. One should not deviate from the path. One should remain enthusiastic. One should remain confident. One should remain patient. And in this way, one can continue to advance in devotional service without hindrance. So I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. So I hope that was okay.
Hare Krishna. Very, very nice, Prabhuji. It felt like, you should just keep speaking and I should just listen. Thank you. Shubham Prabhu's knowledge is so vast. Nice references. Thank you, Prabhuji. Just one small humble request. Don't quote my name because there is no need. I'm just copying, pasting, reading from Prabhupada or listening from Sadar. So yeah, quote their name. That would be nice. Thank you, Shubham Prabhuji again. And next verse will be done by Rasanand Prabhu. So Rasanand Prabhu, now you know the level Shubham Prabhu has set up. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll share my screen again. Okay, everyone can see my screen? Yeah, okay. So this particular slide I really like because this defines the whole NOI in one page. So we'll reread it. So we are reading the first section of NOI, which is Sadhana Bhakti, related to verse 1 till 7. Within that, we have done 3 verses already, which is related to controlling the senses, verse 1, 2, and 3. Now we are in the second section, I should say second subsection of the first section, verse 4, 6, loving exchanges. And today, hopefully, we'll start verse 5, association according to levels of advancement. So let's go to verse 4 first and finish it off. Okay, I'll just quickly read. Dadati pratigrahnati guhyam akhyati prakshati bhukte bhojyate chaiva shadvidham priti lakshanam. Not sure what we did last week, but I'll just quickly go through this verse and please stop me if you have any questions. So Prabhupada said these 6 loving exchanges are not only for devotees, they apply universally. So even 2 businessmen want to promote their business, what do? 6 principles. Dadati pratigahnati. They give something, they accept something. They give some gifts and they accept some gifts. Gohyama, they talk about their mood, whatever goals they have for that particular meeting, and they reveal their heart. They ask some questions and they hear some questions. Bhungte bhojyate chaiva, and it's all happening on a dinner table, as you can say. So these 6 principles applied everywhere, not only in devotional service. Shubham Prabhuji just mentioned we should not associate with the non-devotees for cricket and all that. You may, but actually the definition given in this particular verse 4 is the transfer of desire should not happen, and the transfer of desire can happen while we are playing cricket. Sorry to say. So wherever our emotions are involved, like in cricket, suppose, I'm going to win the game and someone is stopping me, I may have, a different emotion for that particular person or that particular team. So wherever emotional exchanges are concerned, we should avoid that. And that may be in devotional realm or a non-devotional realm, because only slowly, non-devotional realm starts taking a space in our mind. Suppose I'm associating with a businessman who's always talking about property, investment, share, trading, and blah, blah, blah. What will happen in my mind? Maybe I should also try it out. Huh? It's not so bad. Although he's doing it for so many years, he's been very successful. Maybe I'll also become successful. Huh? What's wrong in it? I'll use the Lakshmi in the service of Krishna. So slowly, the change has happened slowly. Bharat Maharaj fell down slowly, not all of a sudden. Now, KK did fall down all of a sudden. There are examples of that as well. But Bharat Maharaj is a very good example. So Chaitanya Prabhu was saying in a class, fall happens slowly. So we should be very, very careful. So wherever we are exchanging our emotions or desires, and one time Prabhupada also said that Prabhupada or one of his disciples, we should not even, as much as possible, exchange gifts with non-devotees. As far as possible. Now, I know, you have kids and kids may have to go somewhere, you have to give some gifts, but, you have to be very, very, very careful here. It can become contagious slowly. Maya, it says in the neophyte stage, verse explicitly means, oh, you have done your 16 rounds, now it's a time to watch movie or match or something like that. Explicit desire, you want to eat more. I've eaten too much Krishna Prasad, okay, I can take this non-prasadam thing. But for a devotee, it works implicitly. On a subtle level, it acts. So we have to be very, very careful. Whatever desires we see, they have an impression. My Guru Maharaj was saying in one of the classes, he says, Mahatma Gandhi once, he gave this example, I think it's in Sydney. Mahatma Gandhi, very famous leader, I'm sure everyone knows Mahatma Gandhi. Some opposite party leaders wanted to how do I say, defame Mahatma Gandhi. So they sent some ladies, some beautiful ladies to entice him. But Mahatma Gandhi was so pakka, he could not get enticed. But Guru Maharaj said when he went home for the first time in his life, he went to the bedroom of his wife. So what he was trying to say, whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we absorb from the senses, it has an impact. The seed is going now. When the seed will fructify, we don't know. We don't know. But the seed, so whatever input goes in us through different senses, we should be very, very careful. Now, we cannot stop all the inputs. We can't walk blindfolded in the city of Sydney or some other cities. We can't do that. But at least we can minimize. Sripalad Prabhu says, we'll see many, many things from these eyes. Just one example of senses. We'll see many, many things from the eyes. But if you see something undesirable and you turn back to see it again, it's a fall down. Sripala Prabhu said that. Like one time seeing, you can't stop. You're driving, you're walking in the city, you're going to work. You can't stop. One time what you will see, you have no control over. But you turn around to check back. Oh, that was nice. Sripala Prabhu said, that's a fall down. So again, these are very subtle principles, and yeah, we can just keep in our mind and do the best possible. Okay, so yeah, so transfer of desires, that's what it is. Now, what those desires are, so if we have the transfer of desires with devotees, we'll have devotional desires in us. If we transfer of material desires we may start getting material desires as well. Okay, so we also looked at last week or last class rather, Panch Mahasadhan told by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So hearing, chanting, worshipping, association, living in Vrindavan. These are the Panch Mahasadhan, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said they are very, very strong. And anyone who works on these 5 Mahasadhan, even on a small level, he will get Krishna Prema very, very fast. And out of these 5, it starts from association. साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र कहे लब मात्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि है. So association with devotees is glorified in all the scriptures, no matter who you are. I'm just remembering one example, Ratnakar Daku, for example. He was a Daku, he was a Dakat, he was a murderer, but he had moment association of Narad Muni and he became Valmiki Rishi. What a great conversion, Rigari, or so many other examples are there. So it all starts with association. If you associate with the right people, all the 5 things, 5 limbs of bhakti will follow, and then all the 64 will also follow. Initially, people may not do Ekadashi, initially they may not worship Tulsi Rani, but if they associate with the right people and start chanting, start hearing with faith, start doing some worship of the deities and living in Vrindavan means visiting temple as much as possible, you will see they will start doing other things very, very soon if they have Shraddha here. So association is like the base of everything. Okay, the first one was the Dati Pratigarnati. So we said this principle is universal, and we all like to give some gifts to someone and receive some gifts from someone. Even Krishna asked for it. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prakshati. Lal Govind Prabhuji was saying, Jahan dhan, wahan man. So wherever your dhan, wherever your wealth goes, your mind goes there. And that's so true. Prabhupada said, Krishna also said that, okay, you don't want to come to temple or come to me means Krishna, to take something because you're a wealthy person. Okay, come to give. So Krishna is saying, you come to me to give. Now, who are we to give to Krishna? But this is how it is, because when you come to give your money, your time, your tan man dhan, slowly your man will come in me. So that's how Krishna is saying. Even the content is very, very simple, like a tulsi leaf, little water, little fruit, or a flower, or a leaf. Krishna is very satisfied, and slowly from that little offering, as we know, 926, and then is 927. Yat karoshi yadashnas, yat johosi dadasiyat. So whatever you do, you will start offering, and then slowly you will offer yourself to me. So the principle is so nice, and the content initially can be very, very simple, but if the intent is there, that's very powerful. Now, we also took some examples. I'll not go through them. Like Sudama example, Sudama also got some gift for Krishna. Krishna also gave some gifts to Sudama. The fruit seller in Vrindavan, they also had an exchange. Krishna did give few grains, but he did give. And then the fruit seller lady gave so much to Krishna. And then Krishna also gave so much to fruit seller lady. We have example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance or Krishna's appearance. We'll see Gopsakha or the other village people were bringing so many gifts for Krishna. Now, again, they know this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they're still offering whatever they have with love. And Krishna accepts that love. We also saw the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was going through the Jharkhand forest, and we discussed 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam from Uddhav Gita, where Krishna says to Uddhav, although there are different types of charity which should be given, some give Arthadan, some give Annadan. Arth means finance, some money, some facilities we give to Krishna. Some give their time and effort to Krishna. So different things can Annadan. Annadan means refers to grain, and we should give all that. But the best dan is Gyan Dan. Gyan Dan. Gyan Dan means giving Krishna to others. This is considered the best charity. And that's why Prabhupada said, please share Krishna consciousness as much as possible. Whatever you know. You don't need to become a very big scholarly person to distribute whatever you know. And he said for that 5-year-old Saraswati, and he said, even she's preaching. When Prabhupada asked, so who is God? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She said that, the 5-year-old girl. And he said to these Mayavadi sannyasis who were sitting there, he said, you don't know who God is. This little girl knows. The little girl knows. So she's a big preacher. She's preaching what she knows. Now, she may not understand what she's saying, but she's preaching. So similarly, whatever we know, we should try to share. And my Guru Maharaj said, when you share with others, your taste of Krishna consciousness grows very fast. So when you're doing your own bhajan, which is very nice, but when you start sharing with others, in whatever capacity, it can be sharing of prasadam, it can be sharing of calling them to temple. You don't need to know different verses to share. I was first invited to ISKCON temple by a non-devotee. Come to temple, they are very nice. And they give prasad as well. So I went to temple. He just invited me. Anyway, so the sharing can be on different levels. So the best thing is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving. Now, what he is doing, God is doing, obviously we cannot imitate, but we can follow in the footsteps. He made tigers and lions to chant Hare Krishna or Krishna's holy name. We can't do that. But we can do what we can. So we should follow the principles. Bhungte Bhojete, we see this nice picture from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna is very happily sharing what he was given by Yashoda Maya, and he is eating from the lunch boxes of other Gopals. So Krishna is showing this, and Prabhupada said, as much as possible, we should eat with devotees. So we should not eat alone, we should eat with devotees. Because when we are eating with devotees, we're still talking about Krishna or hearing about Krishna. I was in London once. One very nice thing happened. I was taking prasad after morning program. So when they distribute prasad, The rule is in the temple, no one talks. No one talks. So one person, one brahmachari, that day at least, a few days, he was reading Krishna book. So no one was allowed to talk. In our temple, we see, they come out of Srimad Bhagavatam class, they start pouring their heart. But in there, it's not allowed to talk. The only place you can talk is where the shoes are or outside the temple. And I think Ujjwala Samataji was sharing some temple in America. They had speakers even in the bathroom. So when you are there, you can hear the class. It's very nice. That building is for one purpose, not to talk this prajalpa there in that building, which many people do, but we should avoid actually. We want to talk something outside Krishna consciousness. We should say, Prabhuji, let's cross the road and do all these discussions there, not in the temple. Temple is for one purpose, to increase our bhakti, whether you're taking prasad or cleaning or cutting vegetables, whatever it may be. So the principle should be maintained. If someone is breaking it, we should humbly remind them that, Prabhuji, let's talk about Krishna. What did you read in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita? I heard this point. And you also share, nothing wrong with that. So that will make this place very, very auspicious. Many times we see in the car park, many devotees are sitting and talking for hours and hours. Program is going on inside. They're sitting in the restaurant and outside. We should not encourage that, at least. At least we should follow. We can't change others. We should follow. No. We are here for one purpose. The katha is going on. We should go and sit inside, not outside. Unless we have a service to do, obviously, then we stay out. Okay, so Bhunte Bhojyate, very nice principle. Can be again applied on different levels. A few examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Advaita Acharya inviting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu at his home. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whoever offers such a nice feast to Krishna, what I will do? Anyone remembers? We read this last class. Whoever offers such a nice prasad, nice bhoga to Krishna. Anyone? I will take the dust of their lotus feet on my head. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying. So God becomes so pleased when you make as much as your capacity nice bhoga for Krishna. My Guru Maharaj also said, you cannot make every day. We understand life is very busy, but Guru Maharaj said, at least some days you should try to make nice, elaborate offering for Krishna. Decorate altar, at least some day. We are not full-time pujaris, understood, but he said some days you should offer elaborate, make 6, 7, 8, 9 things for Krishna, dress deities nicely. So this increases our relationship with the deities. And he said that is very, very, very important. In other days, you can do a simple worship and simple offering, we understand. But some days you should make up that, this Sunday, I'm going to spend 3 hours on my altar. Just clean the altar nicely, dress your Gopal or Jagannathji, whatever you have, and make some nice offering with the whole family. Do some kirtan once in a week, twice in a week, whatever is possible. But that is very powerful, very, very powerful. Sometimes we just do the duty. Radha Govind Maharaj said, "Ghanti bajane se zyada kuch achieve nahi hoga." We're just ringing the bell on a daily basis as a duty. We have to just do aarti, looking at the watch, doing the aarti, looking at the watch. I'm going to lose my bus. Okay, some days what to do, but other days we should spend nice quality time with deities. Very nice. Second picture, we have Sarbham Bhattacharya offering nice prasadam to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then third picture, we have the passing of Haridas Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inviting devotees to take prasad. So two top pictures, actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is receiving. Bottom two pictures, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is inviting other devotees. And the fourth picture, we can say he invited even a dog. Even a dog, and he was feeding the dog from his own hands. So it's a very, very, very important principle that we invite some devotees in our house, and sometimes we can also visit their house for prasadam. And on the prasadam table, what are we talking? Next, investment in Krishna consciousness. Investment is no problem in Krishna consciousness. How are we investing our life for Krishna? What other sacrifice we can make for Krishna? Okay, Ujjwal Rasa Mataji or Prabhuji has a question on this topic. We can take quickly.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Regarding this talking or, looking at the mobile and surfing on the mobile, sometimes it is seen that, in the lectures or during the kirtan, this happens. Like I may be guilty of that sometimes myself, but try not to.
Mhm.
So, is it practically possible to implement this, and how it should be done? Because
Absolutely.
it
Suppose,
appreciates all the time.
yes, Mataji, absolutely possible. Prabhupada gave a beautiful example, very simple one. Who is the, okay, Indian Prime Minister? Who is Indian Prime? Narendra Modi, right? Suppose Narendra Modi gives you a 10 minutes appointment in your house. So when Narendra Modi is sitting in front of you, will you be checking your WhatsApp messages? That Mataji sent me message, that sari is on sale, please come. That laddu is on sale, half price. 10 minutes Narendra Modi has given you. I'm giving a mundane example. So Krishna has given you time. He has allowed you to sit in his house, right? This is 180 Falcon Street, Krishna's house. Is none of your house or my house or anyone's house. We will come and go. We'll die tomorrow. Krishna, Gopinath will always be there, right? So it's his house. Now he has kindly allowed you to sit inside his house, take the facility of his house. The AC is going on, lights are going on, kirtan is going on, and then he's allowing you to take prasadam. And then what we do, we take his appointment so cheaply. We talk with others. So आपका कुर्ता बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है प्रसादम आज अच्छा नहीं बना था there was too much salty, too much spicy, whatever. Now again, I'm not saying cooks should not do their seva nicely. Everyone should do their seva nicely, but when we are on the receiving end, we should be very grateful. Thank you, Krishna, thank you. How many people are there in Sydney, and how many are sitting in that katha? You can't even say 0.001%, it's even less than that. So I am one of them. We should be so grateful when we go to someone's house or temple. Should be so grateful. This devotee is allowing me, a malecha like me, a conditioned soul like me, and he's saying, Prabhuji, please come and sit. You are a devotee. We know how big devotee we are. So it's in our own heart. We know how many conditioning we have, and this devotee is respecting me. Again, that gratitude. If that gratitude is there, everything else will come. Everything. The thing is, we take it for granted. I belong to this temple, and we do. I'm not saying that. This is our big temple family, and we have a right to take something. No, we don't. It's all Krishna's. It's everything. Even breathing is given by Krishna. Every moment we are breathing, we're not even conscious of it. Our heart is pumping. We are able to, our liver is working, kidneys are working. So gratitude, when the gratitude comes, we become very humble. We become very humble. Then we will not check mobile, this and that. If you need to do some seva again, yes. I'm waiting for some delivery for Krishna. Yes, you should check your mobile. I'll just give one example of my Guru Maharaj was sitting in class. Some devotees in Bhagavatam class, I'm talking. Some devotees were coming in and out. Maharaj was not very happy. He said, this is Bhagavatam class. You're disrespecting. And he says, this example given by Maharaj, not by me. You can listen that class. He said, unless your wife is delivering a child in the hospital, you should go out. Otherwise, you should stay here and please be quiet. I may have changed the words here, but he said, your wife is delivering in the hospital, then you should go out. Otherwise, you should all stay here. No coming in and out in Bhagavatam class. He was not very happy. This disrespect to Bhagavatam. He said, this is the most important thing in the whole universe. Why are you going out and in? Then everyone was completely silent. Yesterday, Lal Govind Prabhu was also saying, even in the school education, your kids sit quietly. You're getting Bhagavat knowledge, you have no respect. And still, even after that, some kids were still going here and there. Prabhu says it's not kids' fault, it's parents' fault. They were sitting somewhere else, kids sitting somewhere. So we should be very cautious while we are receiving this Bhagavat knowledge. Otherwise, our household work is going on, we are listening classes. That won't give us much success. We can do multitasking. Sorry, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu, but in the temple, like all sorts of devotees are there. Sometimes, there's a lot of talking going on, and that can be
That
really
could be.
very
Bhakti Tirth Maharaj,
disheartening.
yeah, Bhakti Tirth Maharaj said it's you are going to go back to Godhead. You're not responsible for your neighbors, for your friends. I'm sorry to say that, right? You can be a good example, but he said, if you want to go back to Godhead, you follow. If you don't want to go back to Godhead, that's okay. Then you can say, I have 50 excuses for not being Krishna conscious. Yeah? At my family, at my work, in my health, in my temple, in my Bhakti Raksha or Bhakti Shastri. There are so many faults there. Kala dosha nidhe rajan asti eko mahan guna. So it is there. No problem with that. But you want to go back to Godhead? You follow. Simple. I really like this statement. So there is no excuse. And I think Keshav Maharaj has this series of talks, No Excuse Part 1, No Excuse Part 2, No Excuse Part 3. If you have not heard it, please hear. You'll have less excuses, not no excuses, but at least less excuses, and it's a journey. So again, Jayapataka Maharaj also said, you have to fly your own flight. You cannot blame others for us not being Krishna conscious. You cannot blame others. It cannot be your mentor. It cannot be your husband or wife or kids. Vasudev made Krishna appear in jail. Vasudev made Krishna appear in jail. Now, we cannot go and see Krishna when we visit his own house. So we have to look at ourselves. We can't change the world. Yeah, some discouraging associations are there, then we can safely, respectfully come out of those associations. That's fine. If some association is not very encouraging, someone suppose is discouraging you, putting some blasphemy, criticism and all that, you can say, thank you so much, Prabhu, I'll work on it. And Hare Krishna. And if it's true, Radheshyam Prabhu says, you work on it. If it's not true, you come back, Hare Krishna, no problem. You become thick skin. You ignore. There's a word called ignore. You ignore them because they're not true, right? Lal Govind Prabhu also saying, people did not leave even Ram and Krishna for criticism. Why they will leave you and me? People's nature is like that. We don't have to worry too much about it. But yeah, if there is some truth, yes, we want to improve ourselves and we will say thank you to that devotee for making us aware of our own fault so we can improve and go back to God. And so we are very thankful in that sense. Otherwise, don't worry. Okay, not sure if you got your answer.
Yeah.
We should become serious and responsible. That's all the summary is. Okay, let's move forward. Goyam Akhati Prakshati, this is a very, very, very important aspect. We all struggle many times not with the prasadam. Prasadam is always over. Goyam, we cannot reveal our heart many times. We don't have good friends and we should search for good friends. Again, a friend who can remain private talks as private, not as public. So Keshav Maharaj said, your friend should have three things, three characteristics he should have. First thing, he should know you. Know you means know you well, not know your face and which jeans you wear, Armani jeans and whatever. Know you as a person. I know you. Second thing is, he should love you. He should be your well-wisher. Many times people know you, but they take benefit of you actually. That also happens in this world. They don't love you, right? So first, he should know you as a person. And he should be your well-wisher. He should be able to love you. And the third thing is, he should be able to give you shelter. He should be able to give you shelter. So many times people know us, people love us as well, but they just don't have capacity to give us shelter. So how can we grow? Now we need all three peoples. We need all three people. Sometimes we have friends which we only know us. Sometimes we have friends which knows us and loves us. They are well-wishers. And some friends we should also have who are able to guide us, because there will be challenges in our life. Every day we have challenges, materially or spiritually. So these three aspects we should look for. And if they don't have these three, just Hare Krishna, we have nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. We are wasting our time. That's all. So Goyama Khyati Prakshati. And even if you have that one friend which has all these three qualities, believe me, you are a very in a good safe hands. Good safe hands. I got a call just before the class, and I said no. But that's a different situation. But I like that in a sense that this person rang me for something, right? So I like that. No, I could not attend to that call. That's a different story. But so that's a relationship which we relish. We have some relationships where we can relish and we have trust. And then we know this person is not going to misguide me, not going to harm me, not going to exploit me, and he's going to guide me on a higher level. So we should seek that association. We're going to talk about this in today's class. So now this we talked about in 3 levels. Now, Prabhu, you have a question related on this topic? I haven't finished it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
After you.
Okay, quick question, Prabhu. Yeah, if you have quick.
Yeah, I was just wondering, bro, when you say shelter, you're talking
Yes.
about spiritual shelter, as in someone
Definitely.
who knows
Definitely.
spirituality and guide us in
Absolutely.
that manner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because suppose suppose just a mundane example, not that you meant it. Shelter means a big rich person who can make our job done. For example, yeah, he gave me shelter, but that's a temporary shelter, and that may misguide me. Suppose he's earning money through illegal means, then we said, oh, acha hai. We will be inspired in a different. So yes, a spiritual guide, I mean, which means a person who is advanced than you. So if you are suppose 20%, he should be higher. It may not be a sannyasi all the time. You may not be able to access a sannyasi all the time. But some days, obviously, you will have your Guru Maharaj, but not for everything. But so in between also, we'll have friends who are able to guide us where we can seek shelter in confidence. Mahasa Prabhuji?
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Sorry, I was trying to find where do you raise hand on this because I'm unable to find it on the
No
Zoom.
problem. I saw your
Anyways,
hand.
thank you. Thank you for saying. Prabhu, I just want to know, can you please explain these three words, Guhyam, Akyati, Prichati, when you're explaining it, please?
Okay.
That's my request because I really did not understand anything about it.
Hare
Please.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for opening up, Prabhu. And if there are devotees like that, please let me know. That means I'm not explaining properly, so please forgive me. Guhyam. So Guhyam word comes from, in Hindi, there's a word called Gufa. Gufa means private. And we read in Bhagavad Gita also, there are three levels. Guhya, Guhyataram, and Guhyatamam, right? And this goes Priya, Priyatara, Priyatamam. Vaishnava, Vaishnavtara, Vaishnavtama. So we know good, better, best. So there's a comparative degree of superlative. So here is Guhyam. Guhyam is refers to confidence. Confidence means if I'm talking to you, whatever we talk to each other, that remains in confidence. Because you may reveal your mind, I may reveal my mind, and that should not become published. That's Guhyam. Akhyati. Akhyati means akhyan karna, varnan karna, to describe. There's a word in Hindi called akhyan, comes from Sanskrit. So akhyan means to describe. And prachati means prashna karna, to ask. So sometimes we will ask and sometimes we will describe. So when we will describe, when someone else asks, and someone we may have question. Now, suppose Mahasa Prabhu, you are leading a Bhakti Vriksha or some other group, for example. So sometimes you are doing akhyan. Akhyan means you are glorifying Krishna in your class, for example, right? Now, right now you're attending a class where you are prachati, you're asking questions. So you're doing both, right? So sometimes you explain about Krishna, sometimes you ask questions about Krishna, right? So this is called akhyati and prachati. Now, when you're doing this in confidence, confidence does not mean one-to-one. It can be, I'll show you one picture. This, you see this picture here. We discussed this in last class. So this is GBC meeting going on. Now there are, suppose, 25 members here or something like that. So whatever they are discussing in this room, will it go out? Unless it's relevant for the public, it will not. This is also called Guhyam. So Guhyam does not mean just one-to-one conversation, which may happen. You may talk to your Guru Maharaj about some challenges in your life, how to solve them and all that. Yes, that's valid. But this Guhyam refers to Guhyam Akhyati Prakshati on the level of Krishna's service. So when you're serving Krishna, you're constructing a temple, you're trying to expand your yatra, blah, blah, blah. You're speaking with some devotees and you're saying, I have these challenges. How do I solve it? And a senior devotee can say, Prabhuji, do this, right? And you say, oh, that's very nice. I'll try this. Oh, Prabhu, fourth point, I can't implement because, and you say, okay, Prabhuji, try something else, something like that. So this is all called, on a Krishna service level, you are doing Guhyam Akhyati Prakshati GVC. Remember, someone may come up with 3 problems in his zone. Another member say, okay, I have a similar problem. We did something like that. It worked out. Oh, thank you, Prabhuji, or thank you, Maharaj. Like that. Is that okay, Prabhu? These 3 words. Okay, good. Now, before we get inside, there are some examples here where Guhyam Akhyati Prakshati has happened. So you see, this is Maharaj, 7th canto, 7.1, we are looking. See, this is Maharaj asking questions to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni responding. And this is Maharaj asking again about Grihasthas, about Vanaprasthas. Yes, Priyamata.
I was just wanting to clarify the last one. So is it in the last one is to inquire? So
Prachati. Prachati means prashna karna in Hindi.
just to ask questions.
To ask. Prashna means akhyati means to describe. Akhyan. Vyakhya, akhya. They're all same words, you can say. So when you're describing, that's called akhyati. Like someone comes to you for some queries and you respond to that query. Or you asking query to your Guru Maharaj, for example, that's Prachati and Akyati. So same person doing both at different places.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And I had one more, but this is not.
Yes.
This is in regards to a few weeks ago you gave a class, so maybe I'll
Okay.
ask
Can we
later.
take it later, Mataji?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's finish this thought flow. So first picture is Narad Muni Yudhishthira Maharaj, and you see it's a very natural conversation with Shukdev and Parikshit Maharaj conversation is very natural in the Bhagavatam. So Shukdev Goswami has not like 15 questions set up in his mind. I'll ask these questions to my teacher. Nothing like that. Very natural conversation, and it is just coming out more and more from his heart. Sanatan Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we see in this picture, or Rupa Goswami, whatever you want to call it, they also had a very beautiful conversation, one-to-one here. Here also Rupa Goswami is in Ramkeli meeting with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the first meeting, face-to-face, I should rather say, first meeting, they said, Ke Ami. People call me Pandit, people call me a very learned person, but I even don't know who I am. Now, many times we should also ask this question to ourselves. Many times you will be called as senior devotee, senior devotee, huh? But you should ask yourself, do I really know who I am? No, I know Bhagavad Gita verse 213 to 214. You may just blabber all the 17, 18 verses. Do I really know who I am? Not really. Most of the time, we don't. One time, Bhakti Maharaj was saying, sometimes it's not bad to go back to the basic verses. Not because we don't know the verse, because we have not understood the verse. So we should keep referring. I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Why I'm so much bothered about this body and these bodily things? You'll automatically rise up. One devotee was saying in his class, जिंदगी को ज्यादा सीरियस लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, यहाँ से जिंदा बचकर कोई नहीं जाता है. Don't take your life too seriously. No one escaped from here alive. Rasanand Prabhuji and Vijay Gopi Bhattaji, huh? Don't take too seriously. And I'm talking to myself here, not to you guys. So yes, problems will come. It will stay with us for a while and they will go, because eventually even this body will go. So don't take it too seriously. My Guru Maharaj said, keep serious things serious. And unserious things unserious. What happens? We take unserious things very seriously. Some temporary problems, we take it so seriously. And serious things, we take it unseriously. Like the Krishna consciousness, right? Soul level. Maharaj said, every time you chant Ram, my Guru Maharaj said, Ram or Krishna, it is your internal wealth. How much you are accumulating, that's what you have to focus. And we focus when we meet with Guru Maharaj, this problem, that problem, this thing, that thing. And he's like, talk about Krishna. Anyway, we can talk about the problem, but that should not become about the primary topic. The problems are there. As Shivam Prabhu was just sharing his slide to make us better. The problems are there to make us better. Anyway, and we can see Arjun also did Goyam Akhyati Prakshati with Krishna, and Krishna very beautifully responded everything. This first Goyam Akhyati Prakshit, first level, we can say from one perspective, we can divide into 3 different sections. They are not like a clear watermark on each to other, but there's some primary dormant thing which is happening here. So this is a picture of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri in the Antalila. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not travel anywhere. He will just listen Krishna Katha, and many times after hearing Krishna Katha, he will go in trance. One time, Swarup Damodar and Govind was there in the room. So Damodar was chanting some verses from Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in so much ecstasy after listening Bhagavatam, he just stopped speaking. He was just chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. For late night, he was chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And Swarup Damodar and Govind were both standing on the door when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will sleep. After a long time, the sound stopped coming. So they went inside the room, and obviously those times there's no electricity. You cannot just switch on the light and look at where the person is inside the room. So they were carrying a small lantern, a small lamp to find out. And they looked in the whole room. They could not find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And like, what happened to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And they went into the corner of the room, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was lying in the floor, unconscious, completely unconscious. There was no breathing, and his body had become very, very long. They were like, what? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared? And then devotees started chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. After loud chanting, after a long time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu woke up again. Woke up again. So this sort of level of Guhyam Akhyati Prakshati, where Sarvu Damodar, Raya Ramanand, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are involved, very intimate associate of the Lord. That is on the Krishna Katha level, purely on the Krishna Katha level. There's nothing to do with Sarvu Damodar coming to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so there's a problem going on with this devotee. No, not like that. So it's Krishna Katha level. Second, we discuss about related to your service. Whatever services you are doing, you may discuss about those services to a senior person or a person who has done those things. So the Guhyam Akhyati, Prabhu, please tell me, how can I distribute more books? Please tell me, how can I, try to bring more people to temple? Try to bring more people in Janmashtami festival, like that. And the third is Guhyam Akhyati Prakshita on the level of when you have your own challenges, you're meeting your spiritual master or mentor or guide and asking about your own challenges. I have a lot of lust, I have a lot of greed, I have a lot of anger, I have a lot of moha. Guru Maharaj, what to do? I'm not able to wake up for Mangala Aarti. I'm not able to chant properly. Please guide me. Please help me. Now, this is also very, very important. Now, different people obviously will have different levels of anarthas, but this is very important, and you need this. You need this. And many times devotees struggle even after 30 years. They're still struggling because they haven't found that friend as yet, whom they can talk openly, and he will not laugh at you. He will not judge you, and he will not propagate that thing, because we are all conditioned jiva. And we should find, because many times, and I've heard it can be a whole class here, but by sharing with others, it becomes lighter. It becomes lighter. Again, you have to share with a trustworthy person. So these are the three levels of Guhyam Akhyati Prakshati. I think this is where we stopped, Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Am I right? Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Paramatma inspiring. Okay, now this is sort of a summary of the whole verse. This is again a summary of Srila Prabhupada's purport. There's nothing new. You don't have to take a picture. I'll share that later. Just concentrate on this picture for 2 seconds. So Prabhupada explained two major sections in this purport. One, you can say whom we associate with, and then whom you should not associate with. So far we have discussed whom we associate with. Now Prabhupada, again, you can say divided into 4 parts: whom we should associate, where we should associate, how we should associate, and why we should associate. So whom, where, how, and why. So let's see the whom. So Prabhupada gave the example of businessmen at hotel, which we also discussed, that these 6 principles are universal. They are not just related to devotees. Where we should practice this? Prabhupada said, ISKCON is the place. As Prabhupada said, there's a chamber of commerce for accountants, for devotees or aspiring devotees or potential devotees. We can say we have ISKCON. This is why the ISKCON is there, only for one purpose, so that we can have these 6 exchanges with devotees. We can give some gifts, we can receive some gifts, we can offer some prasadam, we can accept some prasadam, and we can talk to each other in confidence wherever, whenever needed. So in ISKCON, and then Prabhupada said in the purport, life membership facilitates these 6 exchanges. So life membership is not just to raise money. Sometimes they say, okay, they're doing fundraising, but fundraising has a purpose. Why? When they will give their funds, again, jahan dhan, wahan man, then they will come back and check in the temple. So how's that project going? And then they may get involved, and slowly they may take seriously. One example, someone else gave, not Prabhupada, but very nice example. A milkman coming to deliver milk in the temple for last 20 years. He hasn't become devotee as yet. Because he's coming to temple, but is he coming to temple for 6 exchanges? No. Right? So we should be very clear in our purpose of going to temple, going to Shri Radha Gopinath. Why? We are going to do these 6 exchanges. And if we are not able to do that, we should review our visits. We should review our visits. So this is the whole purpose. Now, life memberships, they give donation, they invite devotees to their houses, they inquire about Krishna consciousness. Their spiritual life is nourished, and devotees, so basically life members, what they are giving, they're giving donation, invitation to their houses, inquiring about Krishna consciousness. And what devotee is giving, say temple residents, for example, give books to them, they organize festivals, they explain, they have classes, and slowly what will happen? Their spiritual life will be nourished, and dormant KC will be revived in their heart. So this is the whole idea. Very beautiful. Now Prabhupada said how we should do that. Principle of association, Sangha Sanjayate Kama. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we see in 11th canto, Krishna says, Bhakti Sanjayate Bhakti. Where does bhakti come from? Bhakti comes from bhakti. So, and who has bhakti? It says even Bhagavan doesn't have bhakti. Only Bhakta has Bhakti, because Bhagwan has given this key, Bhakti, to his Bhakta, to his devotee. So you have to associate with devotee seriously. Read about how to associate with serious devotees in verse 5. Then what will happen? Desire and ambition develop according to our association. So there's a Dadati where we give the holy name, and then Chaitanya will happen. Haridas and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jharkhand, we already discussed those examples. So Dadati, we give something. Pratigranati, willing and ready to receive. So sometimes we receive as well. Now receiving can be receiving of a simple gift or a complex gift, maybe receiving of some nice encouraging words. So we can receive those things, and then we offer it to our spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada or to devotees who have taught us how to do that. So we have cooked very wonderful prasadam for Gopinath. You have dressed Gopinath very nicely. You have given a nice class or nice kirtan. So we should thank to those who have taught us, isn't it? Otherwise, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know from our mother's home how to dress the deities, how to decorate the deities. Someone has taught us, or many devotees have taught us. That's why we give our pranam to all the devotees who have helped us in our spiritual journey. It can be a small help or a big help. So willing and ready to receive. Guhyam Akhyati and Guhyam Prakshati. See, also Prabhupada has put Guhyam word in both. So the Guhyam Akhyati, I'll just put my mouse. Sorry, 1 second. So Guhyam Akhyati, Akhyan in confidence, and Prachati, Prashna in confidence. Inquire about KC movement, and Bhungte Bhojate. Sunday feast Prabhupada says Bhungte, so we invite everyone to come and accept prasad and participate in Sunday program. And Bhojate, sometimes we invite those devotees in our house, and we respect them in that way. Why we should do that? Because that will give us success, peace, tranquility, and friendship, real friendship. Prabhupada said, devotees are our real friend. I was driving Jananda Maharaj once in car from A to B somewhere. And Maharaj said, literally from his heart, he said, Goswamis are your best friend. I still remember that. It was night time, late night. Maharaj said, Goswamis said, not many good friends are there. Goswamis, 6 Goswamis are your best friend. I really like that. So we should put that role model, that 6 pictures of Goswami in front of us. We should look at them, pray to them. They are our best friends. And Prabhupada prayed. I had this background. You can see I really love this. Rupa Goswami meeting with Srila Prabhupada. Goswamis are our best friend. Okay, now the second part is whom we should not associate with. Now, this is also a section in Prabhupada purports. We'll try to quickly look at this part as well. So, whom, how, and why. So, first, Prabhupada very strongly writes whom we should not associate with, Mayavadis and atheists. Again, because if we associate with them, what will happen? Transfer of desire. Mayavadi bhasha sunbe hoile sarvanash. It's not nash. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says sarvanash. Sarvanash means full destruction. Haridas Thakur says, I'm happy to live with jackals and tigers and bears rather than living with a Mayavadi. Why? Because tigers and jackals will take only my one body, isn't it? They will kill me. My one body will go. Or snakes. My one body will go. But Mayavadi, Bhashya, if I listen, if I associate with Mayavadis, what will happen? It will destroy my whole consciousness, and my n number of lives will go. N number of lives will go. So he strongly says, I don't want to associate with Mayavadi or atheist, because what if I also become one of them? So Mayavadi bhashya sunibe hoile sarvanash. We should be very, very careful. Now, it does not mean we become uncultured on a personal level. Prabhupada was in America, I think 1968, when Prabhupada got one major sickness after establishing ISKCON. Prabhupada was extremely sick for many, many days. He was on bed, practically bedridden. One Mayavadi sannyasi in America came to see Srila Prabhupada. When he came, Prabhupada was lying on the bed. So he woke up from the bed. He sat on the bed and he asked his disciples to bring some fruits and prasadam for this sannyasi. He was very, very courteous to this person. When he was leaving, Prabhupada tried to even get up from his bed, but Prabhupada was unable to. So the sannyasi said, oh, Swamiji, please, you take rest. So on a philosophical level, even Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, it says when Mayavadis will walk, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj will walk on one side of his street, they will walk on another side of his street. Sometimes they will even take a U-turn, and sometimes Maharaj even grab their corner and say, why are you teaching this nonsense? That is on a philosophical level, but on a personal level, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj Srila Prabhupada was very, very courteous. Dr. Mishra said in the biography of Prabhupada, he said, if Prabhupada was not there, I would have died. He said that. Prabhupada served him because as a person, philosophically, he was opposite. There is no compromise at all. Huh? But on a personal level, Prabhupada was very, very courteous because, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, we have to become respectful to every single person. That includes Mayavadis. Huh? But this respect does not mean we follow them, we listen to them, we intimately associate with them. Huh? On a personal level, if someone comes to us, we are very courteous. Huh? But we don't take their philosophy, we don't take their invitation, we don't exchange gifts. Rather, we offer them prasadam. So we have to be very, very careful, but not uncourteous. Now, don't become so courteous that you start going to their programs. Huh? That's not a courtesy, that's stupidness. Huh? So we respectfully say, something, whatever is appropriate for that moment. Okay, how Prabhupada talks about that? Guhyam, never inquire. So you should not go to Mayavadi and say, my life is having problems. No, go to a devotee. There's so many devotees, senior, very, very mature devotees around. Never inquire confidentially from them any topics about your life, your heart, or Krishna conscious topics. Akhyati, never give or accept invitation to associate intimately. Prachati, asking, by intimate intermingling, one is affected. And again, as I said, this principle applies not only for Mayavadis, for atheists as well. Can be a very simple things or complex things. Dadati pratiganati, negative injections, do not give or take anything. As I said in the beginning of the class, transfer of desire can happen. It starts slow. Bharat Maharaj fell down slowly. We will not fall down overnight. We will not stop chanting overnight. And I'm sure you also would know. I know some at least. They've taken initiation, Brahman initiation. They eat meat. They drink alcohol. They do not chant around. They don't know where the bead bags are. Or they take out the bead bag when they're visiting temple. That also happens. That also happens. When they visit the temple, they decorate themselves very nicely. So in the garb of the devotee, we don't know whom we are meeting. And the very simple thing is when you sit next to a person, sit with them for 5 minutes and you will know what their majority of consciousness is in Krishna or in mundane topics. You will know. When they're talking about Krishna on the dinner table, most of the time, then they are a little serious about Krishna. So just from the dress, we cannot identify anyone. Just with the initiation, we cannot identify anyone. Prabhupada said, action speaks louder than words. Where this person is acting, really acting, not just acting, faking. So do not give or take. Bhungte would never give accept for food as well. Vishayara Anna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you eat the anna, the food offered by non-devotees, you also become non-devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once was in ecstasy. I'll tell a long story in a very short time. And he drowned in the ocean. So some Machwara, the fisher men, they took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out, and you would have seen that picture, a nice picture where fisherman is taking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back to consciousness, he said thank you to them. So he touched them. As soon as, because he was chanting, Krishna, 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 Krishna. As soon as he touched them, they also started chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. And then one fisherman touched another fisherman, then another fisherman. So the whole group of fishermen there, they started chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. So when their wives came, they thought there's some ghost or something here. Their husbands are haunted by ghosts. So they were very worried. And they said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what have you done to our husbands? They have become mad. They are ghosted. They're haunted by a ghost. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, do not worry. You see those buildings? And he showed it towards the city. There are big, big buildings there. He said, no problem. You just go ask some alms. And then when you eat their anaj, you will become normal. You understand? You will become normal, so-called normal. They have become abnormal. As per them, they have become abnormal. So you eat their anaj, you eat their grain, you become normal. So this principle applies on us more than those fishermen. They have seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are very fortunate. So we should never, ever, ever, or as much as possible, not eat out. Anything which is non-prasadam, we should just not accept it. My Guru Maharaj said, I will rather die hungry. He said in Sydney, I will rather die hungry than eating this bread. Some devotee, initiated devotee, got a bread from market. Because Maharaj said, no, I will take bread and cheese for my journey. So this devotee got a Helga's bread. Maharaj said, this one, I would rather die hungry rather eating this bread. Huh? So this devotee, with all due respect, had this notion Maharaj likes bread, but he doesn't know devotees make bread. I can see Raghavi Mata ji. So Girish Prabhu is there in her family, and Girish Prabhu makes such a fantastic bread. One time I took Girish Prabhu's bread to Maharaj, and Maharaj said, "Ghar pe banaya hai?" I said, "Yes, Maharaj." But devotee is very expert. He only made this bread. So anyway, so no non-prasadam, no non-prasadam. No matter how tasty it is. Once Prabhupada disciples were in Vrindavan, this is little bit later stages. Now there are stories and there are valid stories as well. Initially, Prabhupada did allow to buy sweets from the market and offer to the deities in the very beginning days when they were struggling with resources. Later on, Prabhupada stopped completely. He said only devotees have to make offering for Krishna. But still, some of the Prabhupada disciples were eating outside in Vrindavan, and somehow, when they were eating some kachaudis or khastas or whatever in Vrindavan, Prabhupada was passing through in a car. And Prabhupada asked driver to stop the car. Prabhupada put the mirror down and he looked at these devotees and he didn't say a word. All the devotees were so embarrassed that their spiritual master is looking at them. They're enjoying some sweets or some snacks in Vrindavan. Later on, when Prabhupada came back to temple, and he said to these devotees, obviously they came to Prabhupada and they were not very happy about their activity. So Prabhupada said, Krishna is not loitering into the streets of Vrindavan. Krishna is not loitering in the streets of Vrindavan. So Prabhupada was not happy devotees eating out. So I know many devotees go to restaurants, this and that for a change. We are actually putting us down. So you take prasadam for 10 days and 11th day you go and eat out. No, they're expert devotees, they can make anything. So it has a big impact on our consciousness. We may not realize immediately, as we gave the example of Mahatma Gandhi. If there's an input, there will be an output. Chaitanya, Amrendra Prabhu says, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. So we should be very, very careful. We can eat khichdi, no problem. Simple khichdi, dal chawal, dal roti, whatever. Okay, make it best. Not everything is ideal in this world, but make it best possible. And slowly try, pray, and simple prasadam, no problem. Prabhupada said, just eat to keep your body and soul together. So that principle is also should be respected. You should not overeat. Okay, last one I will say, and then I'll take the question. So why we should not associate? Prabhupada gave this famous example of Padma Puran, poisonous association like a snake. So if you feed milk to a snake, what a snake's wish, a snake's poison will grow more. Huh? So don't feed milk to a snake. And that applies to our association as well. So we should not become so courteous that we say, Acha, theek hai. Whatever you desire. No. We should be very firm, very, very firm in that sense. Huh? Snake milk and bananas. Any information will be used to promote materialism and oppose KC. Unless one is very advanced, he's unable to utilize. Yeah, this is very nice. Prabhupada or devotees like Prabhupada, they can use any resource in Krishna's service. Prabhupada said, I can't remember the exact word he said, not everyone can offer everything to Krishna. Not everyone can offer everything to Krishna. It's a very nice statement. We should not think I've become advanced enough that I can offer everything to Krishna. No. At least I can talk about myself, not about you guys. We are very, very neophyte. Very, very neophyte. So we should be very, very careful. So only experts can offer everything. So if you cannot do that, step back. Simplicity is the best principle. Simple living and high thinking. Huh? You don't know how to use this thing in Krishna said. I'll give you a mundane example. Prabhupada gave this. Prabhupada watched Charlie Chaplin movie. Prabhupada drank Sprite, can of Sprite, and you know what happened after that. Movies were becoming bona fide. Cold drinks were becoming bona fide. They are not bona fide. Prabhupada went to a temple and there were like a truckload of canes there. And Prabhupada said, "What is this?" And they said, "Prabhupada, but you drank 7-Up." So devotees were just drowning themselves in 7-Up. That's not the purpose. Russia, I heard, on Nirjala Ekadashi. Now, two things are allowed on Nirjala Ekadashi or any fasting days. You can do Achman and you can take Charnamrit. I've heard in a class, Russian devotees in one part of Russia, they were drinking 1 liter of Charnamrit on Janmashtami, saying, I'm following Ekadashi. 1 to 1.5 liter of Charnamrit. Now, you should not murder the principle. And the quantity is also written. You're only allowed to take that much water in which 1 mustard seed can be drowned. 1 mustard seed. So that much Charnamrit, yes, you can take. That much Achman, I also do that much Achman. Make sure it's just 1 drop, means it's 1 drop, not 1.5, not 2 drops. So because details are also given. Now you cannot give details to everyone, but that 1 drop Achman, yes, it's allowed. On Nirjala Ekadashi, yes, you should do that. Because without Achman, you can't do deity worship. Charnamrit, yes, it's allowed, but 1 drop. Now, Charnamrit also should be made by certain contents. If certain contents are there, even Charnamrit should not be taken. So there's so much details are there. Again, principle should be maintained. Details may vary. So the principle is, yes, Charnamrit, 1 drop of Charnamrit, not 1 liter of Charnamrit. Janmashtami, you're saying, I'm doing Nirjala fasting. No, you're not. Okay, last thing, we should not accept charity from Mayavadis and atheists. Absolutely no, because if you take charity from them, you'll take their desires. Matanga Rishi, whose disciple was Shabri, Matanga Rishi had many disciples, and Shabri was serving them in the beginning stages in the night time, and these disciples didn't know who's serving them, but they were becoming comfortable. Look, in the jungle, she was cleaning, she was putting some flowers for them, she was putting waters for them, and they were comfortable. One time Matang Rishi came to know about this, and he was not very happy. He said, you don't know whom you're taking service from, because if you don't know whom you're taking service from, you're getting that person's desire. So many times we feel very glad in taking services. No, we are obliged. The karma is involved. Prabhupada said, even if you're watching this, Nut, the acrobats on the road, they do some performance. When my Prabhupada was with his disciples in one city of India, so disciples was sort of just watching this acrobat on the street, very nice performance. And after the performance, they started walking out. Prabhupada said, you have to give him something. He has entertained you. He has entertained you. So you have to give him something. So we cannot just walk out, because you walk out with a karma on your head, because it's a debt on your head. So if you take something from someone, you should reciprocate, not on a transactional basis we are talking here, but on a reciprocation, on a loving exchange. Even Krishna said, Ye thamam prapadnante tam sudhai bhajamyam. Krishna is also very reciprocal. So we should also, and again, we should reciprocate as per the level of the devotee. Like with a sannyasi, we reciprocate differently. With a brahmachari, we reciprocate differently. With a neophyte, we reciprocate differently. But if we are taking, a Prabhu who comes from Mumbai, I forgot his name, Sarup Damodar Maharaj disciple, he recently came.
Gokuleshwar Prabhu.
Gokuleshwar Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Gokuleshwar Prabhuji, he said in his class, we should not take anything free from anyone. We should not take free anything from anyone, because that is a debt on our head. So we should make sure if someone is giving us, we should appropriate word is important. Again, between devotees, there's no transaction. If there's a transaction, we don't have devotional relationship. That's of sure. We should have loving relationship, but we should be very grateful. This devotee is serving me, who I am. So let me give him or her something, whatever. Words of encouragement. If we can't give anything, give words of encouragement at least. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your nice seva. So again, not fake, real one. Okay, let me stop here. I'll take 2 questions. Ujjwal, Rasa, Mataji or Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
In the chart, in the middle one, on the right hand side, the center one, it says don't accept or don't give food to any non-devotee. Now, normally we actually somewhere it's understood that we give prasad
Yes,
to
yes.
someone. So this
Yeah.
is a little bit how to understand this.
Yeah. So just take the spirit, Prabhuji. Yeah. So when we're distributing prasadam, obviously we distribute to non-devotees as well as devotees, but on a mass scale, we try to bring people to Krishna consciousness through first weapon as prasadam. So from that perspective is given. But here it's given from dadati pratigarnati perspective. Do not exchange like that. Huh? But prasadam, yeah, from that perspective, we distribute to anyone and everyone. Radhanath Maharaj said, not even Prabhupada said, if nothing worse, prasadam will work. If they are not listening to the philosophy, keep feeding them prasadam, prasadam. One day they will, but their buddhi is not there yet. By prasadam, their buddhi will become receptive and then they will receive your instruction as well. Okay, yes, Rasanan Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
As you are mentioning, Prabhu, like some of the devotees get initiated and then they completely stop chanting. And we also know a family who were initiated and then now they completely stopped chanting, and then they are talking a different philosophy totally, like Mayavadi philosophy.
Yes, yes.
But we are still contact with them, like because they don't have anyone to go to or something. So what is that type of association?
Yes.
Is it harmful to us, or
Yeah.
is it
Very,
sometimes we feel okay, we also neglect them, where would they go?
yeah.
Sort of
Okay.
thing.
Yes. Thank you. Very nice question. And the simple answer given by your Guru Maharaj sitting behind you. And he is speaking, not me. So Radhanath Maharaj said on that question, which very nice question. Now Jayapataka Maharaj also had said something, but I'll tell Radhanath Maharaj first because right now he's coming in my mind. He said, if you're taking association, they say from non-devotees, devotees, non-devotees can be of different categories, stop. If you're giving association, continue giving in a compassionate way. But while you are giving, don't take. While you're giving, you're thinking I'm giving, but actually they're impacting your thoughts. So if you're not strong enough, we will talk about this in verse 5, Mataji, and this is how Rupa Goswami has also put, if you're not strong enough, step back and say, my Guru Maharaj is able to do, he's able to give association. I am not eligible. And many times I have followed this principle. You know, some people will not listen from you. Maybe they will listen from someone else. And that's fine. You don't have to like, I'm so great that they have to listen from me. No, no, no. We are not so great. We are very, very small people. So see what the thing is. But the principle again is giving. Yes, you should give. You should be compassionate. You know, they are like your kids. Huh? The kids have gone far. But okay, one example comes to my mind. Prabhupada's wife. When Prabhupada got initiated, he asked his wife as well to get initiation, and she said no. So Prabhupada continued. Prabhupada obviously desired her to get initiated as well, but she didn't get initiated. Anyway, later on things went in a different way. And finally, Prabhupada could not give her what he wanted to give. And finally, he left, right? So it's not he did not try, he wasn't compassionate. Again, from a Leela perspective, we are talking here. Prabhupada had to stop at one point. So you may also have to stop at one point, depending on the person. You don't have to like continue. If we don't give shelter, like Bharat Maharaj, if I don't give shelter, who will give shelter? Vishnu will give shelter to everyone. So if you are eligible, yes. But if you're not eligible, if you're doubtful, confusing, or they're impacting your thoughts, I have stepped back from many so-called these people. I can't give. I know my capacity is not there. So that's fine. Gopal Krishna Maharaj said, you give association to those who are happy to receive your association. In a positive way, I'm talking. Maharaj said that. So don't try to give them who are exactly opposite and our eligibility is not there. There has to be Uttam Adhikari who can preach to them. We are Kanistha, not even Kanistha. So, okay. So you know what I'm saying. So your Guru Maharaj said that. Jayapataka Maharaj said one thing. He's very compassionate as he is. Jayapataka Maharaj said he was in Mayapur once. One devotee was going through a database of people whom they sent this information about temple and the programs and all that. So this devotee was telling me, who was the disciple of Jayapataka Maharaj when he was in Mayapur. So he was sharing with me this instance with Maharaj when he was in Mayapur many years ago. So he was going through database. So he was sort of cleaning up the database. You understand the cleaning of the database? Who have worked in the temple, they will know. Like many addresses doesn't exist, many addresses bounce, many devotees are no more in touch with Krishna consciousness. Whether temple left them or they left temple, whatever the case may be. Anyways, he had a separate list of few hundred people whom he was taking out from the database from sending the communications. So Jayapataka Maharaj said, so what's happening with these people? He said, Maharaj, they are blooped. He used this, Maharaj, they are blooped. And Jayapataka Maharaj looked at this person, blooped? What do you mean? Said, Maharaj, they're not interested in Krishna consciousness. Maharaj said, still continue sending them the communication from the temple. They may come back. Huh? Maharaj is like, he has a big heart. So no, you still continue sending them. They may come back. They may come back. So again, he is from this perspective. So he is such a adhikari, uttam adhikari. But my Guru Maharaj said, you should give association. You should invite to the temple. But if they're too much blasphemous, he said that if they're too much blasphemous, then do not associate with them. And then he added one point, still send them prasadam. He said that. Still send them prasadam. And if they don't even accept the prasadam, Guru Maharaj said, pray for them. So I think the last point is very, very nice. Last point is very, very nice. And Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj said, you should pray for those who hate you. You should pray for those as the topmost who hate you. So Maharaj used the word, I think, enemy in his class, but yeah. So now devotee doesn't have an enemy, but people may feel inimical towards you. So Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj said, the best thing is you start praying for them. At least your heart will be clear. If you leave your body tomorrow, your heart is clear. You have no enmity towards anyone. You are still very prayerful. And by praying for them, your inimical nature will go. Now, they may still feel animosity towards you. That's fine. Duryodhana hated Yudhishthira. That is up to Duryodhana. Yudhishthira's heart is clean. So when we die, Maharaj said, our heart should be clean. You can only control your heart, right? You cannot control the world, how they feel, how they respond, how they act. You cannot control. Do that. So whomever they feel inimical towards you, you should have a list of the devotees and you should increase that list. If first the list should not exist, but if the list is there, you should pray, 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 pray. By praying to them, your heart will be clear, and that's it. You die nicely. And they will be taken care by Vishnu. Simple as that. Vishnu is the ultimate maintainer. We don't have to worry about these baby deers in the jungle. There are many, many baby deers. We are not able to give shelter to everyone. Only Krishna can give. And some devotees will go away. That's fine. That's fine. It's between them and Krishna. Another devotee said, I'll stop at this point. Came from Vrindavan recently. Very, very senior devotee. He said, if that's the case, an initiated devotee goes away or lose the interest in Krishna consciousness, is between him or that person and Krishna. You don't have to bother too much. It's between him and Krishna. His guru or her guru, they will take care. Why are you taking that headache? Okay, let's stop here. Okay, Priya Mataji has a question. And Manmohan Prabhuji. Okay, let's take quickly.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So you mentioned about just before quickly the not accepting anything for free. So is
Yes.
that between that's not related to the devotees, or that's
Absolutely, devotees as well, Mataji. If devotees are giving you prasadam or some help or some encouraging words, you should also reciprocate. Now here, as I said again and again, it's not a transaction. Oh, they have given me, 1 kilo of sweets, so I also have to give them 1 kilo of sweet. It's not a transaction. It's like love. Your mother gives you so much love. So out of love, when you grow old, you want to help your parents. It's not a transaction. No mother or father or no dear ones expect anything from you. When you were a kid, or we are all kid, our parents did not serve us because they wanted something from us, but they loved us. So now, as that reciprocation of the love, you want to do something for them, whatever little you can. It says you cannot repay the debt of your parents ever. You cannot. But you can do something, whatever is in your capacity right now. So from that attitude, you look at the devotees. They are so nice. They are so nice. They're helping me so much. Again, when we are grateful, these things automatically come. We don't have to be like write it as a principle. It automatically comes, because Radhanath Maharaj said very, very nice. If we are not grateful, we are great fools. If we are not grateful, we are grateful. So we should be very grateful of receiving anything from anyone. Very, very grateful. I don't deserve it, but this person is giving me. I'm such a rascal, but he's giving me. Just imagine a scenario, you don't deserve some credit in your workplace, for example. You get the credit. Do you feel grateful? At least in your heart. Thank you. I didn't do anything, but you get some prize or some name or some credit or certificate, right? So inside you say, thank you, Krishna, although I didn't do it. So similarly, when you're not worthy of receiving something, at least we feel like that, and we receive, we feel grateful. The only problem happens when we have so much expectation from our friends and family, and when we don't receive appropriately, we become angry. अरे इतना भी नहीं किया, पानी को भी नहीं पूछा, हाँ, मुझे पानी को भी नहीं पूछा. They didn't even ask for water. How rude they are. But why do you expect that they should ask you for the water? Sankarshan Maharaj was asked once, and I may have shared this. One devotee asked, Maharaj, how do I tolerate other people? And Maharaj said, as others are tolerating you. So we think we are tolerating others, but actually, maybe, just maybe, they are tolerating us. So we think we are so nice. I'm Yudhishthir, I'm Pandav, everyone is a Duryodhan. Are Baba, maybe I am the Duryodhan. Just consider, I'm the Duryodhan and he's Yudhishthir. It's just Duryodhan is looking Yudhishthir as very bad person, right? That we can agree. Just for 1 second from Duryodhan's perspective. So every Duryodhan thinks I'm Yudhishthir, but we are not Yudhishthir. We may not be Yudhishthir. So if we have no expectation, Nirapeksha Muni Shanta, a Muni, a devotee is Nirapeksha. He has no apeksha, no expectation from anyone. Now we are human beings, we will have some apeksha, but minimize your apeksha. I think Devinanda Prabhuji says, wherever there is expectation, there is frustration. So if you have minimal expectation, you'll have minimal frustration. So anyway, so the principle should be maintained, not anything. So for devotees as well, and then we become a sweet devotee, a good devotee whom everyone likes, and we want to be blessed by all the devotees. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
And just quickly, I think I can ask you other time. Otherwise, it's fine. It was in regards to one of the chapters from Bhagavad Gita, and that you connected that with the verse 2, and you mentioned that the Radharani's name is mentioned in one of those Bhagavad Gita chapters.
Okay. Now any devotee, okay, any devotee can answer that quickly.
I didn't quite understand. Yeah.
No problem, Mata. Okay. I'll not answer the question, but I'll give you the verse. Who can give the verse which Priya Mataji is asking?
Oh, no, I know the verse, but
you know the verse. Mahatma
I know
Nastamam
the
Partha
verse,
Devi
but I don't know
Prakriti
where it is.
Yeah, Bhakti Thakur writes that Devi Prakriti here refers to Srimati Radharani. So 714 verses. So 714, the Asuras take Maya Devi's shelter, and Mahatmas, devotees, they take Devi Radharani's shelter, basically.
Okay,
This
thank
is
you.
written by Bhakti Thakur. Okay, I'll take last question by Manmohan Prabhuji or Shraddha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just a quick one, Prabhu. Like, I understand about the Mayavadis and atheists, but somebody who's been your friend for many years, and suddenly you hear that he's become a Ritvik. What should be your response, like, in regards to these things?
Same as what we are reading on the screen. Simple as that. Now, he or she may have a particular experience in Krishna conscious movement, and which may be bad, and we agree with that. But if he has gone astray from the basic teaching of Prabhupada, we have to start forming a little distance. Not the respect. Respect we have to give. That I always say. Even you have to give respect to an ant, but a distance has to be maintained, because they will, and especially if they've been your friend for years, they will open some up. I think I have shared this. One day I was researching something. I'm talking at least 12 years ago now, 15 years ago. I came up with the Ritvik website. And honestly, I had never seen websites like that in the past. This was my first time, and I started reading something. Some Ritvik or some blasphemy for our ISKCON gurus was there. First time in my life. Anyway, I stopped it after some time, maybe a few minutes or half an hour or something. And I asked this question to a devotee same night. I said, I stumbled across this sort of website and this was written. And he immediately corrected me. He said, do not read. Do not read. And he explained me. And I was convinced, honestly, on the day one, I did not have any arguments of this and that. I trusted this person. And he said, do not read. There are many fake things are there, and some things may be true. It may be out of context. And 90%. And imagine why he is blaspheming this person in public. Now, if a person is blaspheming another person in public, that shows his consciousness. That we know. Even if I have complained to you, I should ideally call you. Prabhuji, I don't agree with you. I have not understood your action. You know, I can talk to you one to one. But if I'm disrespecting in public, that shows my own consciousness, and that person's opinion should not be taken seriously. That's the first thing. If someone doing public ninda for someone is right or wrong, that's a different story. Totally different story. Even if it is right, if someone do public ninda, that person's opinion should be rejected immediately. Immediately. Public ninda, why? A devotee doesn't do that. I may have differences of opinion from you, but we can sit down properly in a nice mood and clarify. That's a different way. But public ninda, that's so Ritvik is a public ninda. These websites are public ninda. So I was fully convinced with 20 minutes discussion with this devotee, same night. But I still remember in the afternoon, and I talked to this person around 7 p.m. And I was like, okay, no more questions after 20 minutes, clean. Hare Krishna. And I was like, thank you. Now we still come across sometimes, but we just skip. I have actually app on my Chrome, and if you don't know, I can give you the name. I don't remember. It actually tells me if I open one of those websites, it prompts me twice. So it doesn't even open the website. It comes up with a message. It's very nice. Some ISKCON devotees has made. So I've installed that on my Chrome. So it just stops me even going on those websites, which is very nice because you don't know which website is which. Okay, let's stop here. Any other questions, please write. Sorry, it became a question answer session today, which I thought I'll quickly wrap up. Verse 4. Okay, no worries. We have finished verse 4. One thing is there, I'll just take 10 seconds. The Dati principle is again given by Prabhupada. Advanced devotee should give at least 50%. And Prabhupada has given a sort of a classification here as well. 50% to Krishna, 25% to family, 25% you should save for future, as Rupa Goswami did. And then fulfills the demands of the Dati, we should give. Rupa Goswami is saying the principle of giving should be maintained. It's not a matter of you're giving $1 to Krishna or $1 million to Krishna, whatever your capacity may be. The principle of giving. Dada Govind Maharaj said, even if you have half chapati, you still give, you still share. So many times devotees may not have a well financial situation, but they say, okay, jab bahut sare paise honge, when we have a lot of money, then I'll give to Krishna. No. Whatever you have half chapati, you give one bite to someone suitable, someone to sadhu. So the principle, and when we start giving, the mercy starts flowing inside. So don't wait for a big sampatti to come. With this, the verse 4 is finished. We'll do a revision of verse 4 by Rasanand Prabhuji next week, and then we'll start on verse 5. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai, Shri Nectar of Devotion ki jai, Shri Jagannath
Jai.
Baldev Sudra Maharani ki jai.
Jai.
Sundar Gopal Prabhu, any major announcements for this week? I don't think.
Not really, Prabhu. Nothing as such.
All good. Hare Krishna. We'll see you again.